Hello guys, and welcome to another in-depth review here on Entity Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, of course, and today we'll be checking out a pretty cool little car here, and it is of course the 2017 Kia Niro in the Touring trim level. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thanks out to Shakers Kia here in Watertown, Connecticut for allowing me to check out the car in today's video. Now if you're interested in checking out a car here, go ahead and check out the website that I provide in the description box. Now before we get started, I like to do like a sort of little disclaimer type of thing. We have the options list here, and we have the advanced technology package. We also have the carpeted floor mats and a cargo tray. Now the advanced technology package gives you some pretty cool features. The HID headlamps, the autonomous emergency braking. You also have a collision warning for the front, a lane departure warning. You have an adaptive cruise control, a 115 volt power inverter, and then you also have a wireless phone charger. And this particular car is stickered at $32,655. Now taking a look at the side profile, our wheelbase stands at 107.3 inches. And you do have 7 total color options, this one being the metal stream metallic, and it's a nice gray color. And taking a look towards the rear of the vehicle, this car is front wheel drive only. Now we could go ahead and get started up here with the details on the front. And we can start with the headlamps. Now this car does come optional with the HID projector bulbs, and they're used both for your high and low beams. You also have LED daytime running lights here. And coming towards the bottom here, we have our halogen fog lamps. You also have an LED strip right here as well. You have some air inlets right there. You also have parking sensors that go all the way across the front bumper. Nice high gloss and chrome combination for the Tiger Nose grille up there. Now coming down the side, we have these nice plastic moldings that go all the way around the wheel wells and all the way down the side to prevent the scratches on the paint. Now we have these nice 18-inch wheels with ventilated disc brakes, and our tires measure 225/45 up front. You have nice turn signal mirrors. And you also have this nice chrome going all the way around the windows there. And our pillars are a nice flat black. Got the nice satin silver roof rails up there. Sunroof and a shark fin antenna. Door handles have your smart key entry system, the front two. And coming back here, we have solid disc brakes. And we have Michelin tires. And wrap around to the back of the vehicle. It's a really nice sort of looking back profile for this car. You have a nice gloss black spoiler, and the gloss black kind of flows down into the tail lights. Speaking of your tail lights, they are partial LED. We also have the Niro Touring emblem right there. Backup camera is located right over here. We have a trunk release. And of course our parking sensors go all the way across the back bumper too. We have some nice satin silver accents down there as well. And the exhaust outlet for the 1.6 liter engine that helps with the electric engine. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check out what's underneath the hood. So underneath the hood of this car, you'll find a 1.6 liter inline 4 producing 104 horsepower. You'll also find a 43 horsepower electric engine. I don't believe it's underneath the hood, but it is somewhere else in the vehicle. But combined, it does make 139 horsepower at 5,700 RPM and 195 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. Now all that torque is thanks to the electric engine. So you can actually see some metal underneath here, which I like. It's not just a big giant plastic cover. The stuff in orange you definitely don't want to touch, but you have a bunch of fluids that you can check. And that is the only engine choice you can get so far on the Niro. Also, one thing I'd like to point out is you have to put a prop in the hood, but the hood is very, very small, therefore it's very lightweight. Alright, so before we check out the interior, let's go ahead and look at the Smart Key entry system. So how this system works is you have to have the key fob in your pocket in order for it to work. But how it does work is you have to locate this button right here. Right now the car is locked, but if you want to unlock, all you have to do is press that button. The car will beep at you a little bit and the exterior mirrors will fold outwards. You can also see in there that there's an LED light that illuminates the door handle. So if you want to unlock all the doors, all you have to do is press that button again, and all the doors will unlock. Now this color choice is called charcoal, and it's one of two color choices. You can also get a gray interior, and it's pretty cool because it has blue accents around the air vents and blue stitching. But we do have the charcoal interior. Now this car does have the upgraded 8-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Definitely pretty cool. Now, starting on the door panel here, we have some nice soft touch materials all the way up here. Even softer leather right here on the armrest. You even have some nice contrast stitching. High gloss trim over here. Nice metallic door handle. You also have 2-person memory on this car, which is pretty awesome. You have rear and front windows. You also have your lock, unlock, your window locks for the rear. And you have your rear mirror controls as well as your power folding mirrors. You can press that button right there and the mirrors will fold in. You have a little bit of storage down here. You have a bottle holder, which is pretty nice to see. You have some pretty nice, looks like stainless steel plates right there. Entry guards. So taking a look at the left of the dash, we have a pretty nice air vent right there. You have a gauge dimmer right here. Your blind spot warning, you can turn that on and off. You also have your lane keep assist, you can turn that on and off. You also have your traction control. You have a gas tank release, and then you also have your battery reset right there. Hood release over here, parking brake. Nice to see it's a mechanical parking brake instead of the electronic parking brakes. You have a dead pedal right there, and then you also have your gas and brake pedals covered in rubber so you don't lose your grip. Of course, your floor mats will hook in right here. Now you have 10-way powered seats, and that includes your 2-way lumbar. And they are very nice seats. You have stitching going all the way around the outside. A little bit in the center there. You have a combination of perforated and sort of like a natural grain leather. Very nice seats, and they're pretty supportive too. So let's go ahead and get in and start it up. See what the rest of the interior looks like. So I do have the key fob for the vehicle, and it's pretty normal Kia key fob, but it's a very nice quality key fob. There's metal buttons and all that, but you have your lock, unlock buttons, as well as a trunk release and a panic alarm. You also have a physical key inside there in case you need to use that. But all you really need to do to start this car is make sure the key fob is in the vehicle, put your foot on the brake, and the engine start stop button is located right there. Just press it and you're set. Now sometimes the actual 1.6 liter engine won't start up, but it will definitely let you know that it's ready to go, even if you don't hear the engine there. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off the interior with this really nice leather wrap steering wheel. Now, it's got some really nice grip bolsters, and it's got really nice soft leather, not a whole lot of texture. And on the inside you have some really nice white stitching, which is definitely a really nice touch. You also have some gloss black at the bottom there. Nice big airbag cover with the Kia emblem, of course. And over here we will find all of our sort of media controls. You have voice commands, a mode for your audio. You also have an up-down for your audio volume. Then you also have an up-down to change your stations. Bluetooth controls for your phone right there. And taking a look over here, we will find all of our adaptive cruise control settings. So you can set your distance right here, cancel, OK, reset. And you also have a page button right here that corresponds to the little media screen in there. Now taking a look behind the steering wheel, we have most of our lighting controls actually. We have turn signals, of course. And we also have our regular lighting controls, fog lights, as well as our high beams. Now taking a look over here, we have all of our front and rear wiper controls. Now taking a look up here, we have some pretty interesting gauges. Now instead of a traditional RPM gauge, you get this eco indicator, which tells you whether the car's charging, you're in an eco sort of driving mode, or you're in a power mode. So you want to kind of keep it in the green if you want to drive efficiently, which is pretty cool. And it does tell you when you're in the electric vehicle mode. So right now the engine is not on, but if you put it in drive right now, you could drive right away. You also have a nice TFT in the center there, which will display all kinds of messages and stuff. You have your exterior temperature, what kind of warning systems are on, and then you also have your mileage. So you have a bunch of different menus that you can go through. Service intervals, all kinds of stuff that you can go through, which is pretty cool. You have your trip computers, digital speedometer. This also tells you how you're driving, which is pretty awesome. A compass, you can put your navigation up there, your warning systems, your audio, and back to your messages there. You also have your speedometer up here, which is very nice. It's got a nice light glow to it. You also have your mile range and your gas gauge as well. Okay, so this is a screen you're going to get in the Niro Touring. It even comes with navigation. So let's go ahead and check out some of the features of the screen. Now you can also use these sort of redundant buttons down here, but for now we're going to use the touch screen. So this is our home screen. It kind of displays our navigation and radio, and then you also have a couple of other menus down there. Let's go ahead and check out the navigation screen. Now you can kind of check all kinds of stuff like traffics and your point of interest. We could also go back to home. Let's go ahead and check out the audio screen. We have all of our presets down there. You also have a sort of like tune to the stations type of thing. You have a scan AM, FM, Sirius XM. And go back to home and check out this menu right here, which is pretty cool. It'll tell you your fuel economy, how eco-friendly you're driving, and whether the battery power is going on or the engine power is going on, which is pretty cool. We have an alls menu sort of screen right there, which kind of gives you all of your apps in one sort of screen right there. Radio, music, images, current locations, navigation. Your phone screen is right here. Now of course you have to pair your Bluetooth device for your contacts and everything to sync over. You can also access your climate through here, but you also again have physical buttons down here to do that. It is a dual zone climate control, which is pretty cool, and you can kind of control your fan speed right here. You also have a My Menu page, which is where you can kind of customize and download apps to your screen. Now you're always going to have your date and your time up there as well, which is always cool to see. You have a nice little badge right there, along with some high gloss accents. Pretty nice upper dash. You have a couple of speakers up there too. Looks like 3 speakers, one in each corner and then one in the center there. Now taking a look down here, we have the engine start stop button, of course, and then we also have our redundant controls for the screen up there. We have a volume knob, which is nice to see. It's not some sort of like swipey thing or whatever. Radio, seek, track, media, all kinds of cool stuff for your phone screen. You also have a tune knob, and your hazards are here as well. SD card inlet for the navigation. And down here we have our dual zone climate control. We could sync it right there, and then we also have our temperatures. And it also shows up over here on the navigation screen whatever we do down there. Front and rear defrost, your fan speed is right there, recycling, AC of course, all that good stuff. Now moving down here, we have a couple of power inlets right there, two 12-volt power outlets. We have an aux, a USB inlet right there, and we also have our wireless charging pad right there. It's got a nice grippy surface, so you know your phone's not going to slide around. Now coming down here is a pretty interesting part, at least for a hybrid vehicle. Now usually hybrid vehicles will come with a CVT transmission, which means continuously variable. So you don't really have gear ratio, you don't really have gears to switch into, but this one does. It is actually a 6-speed dual clutch transmission, which is pretty cool. You usually see dual clutch transmissions in performance cars. So we're in park right now. We can go into reverse and see what the backup camera looks like. We have guidance lines that move as we move the steering wheel. We also have drive and neutrals right there, of course. You could also bump it over into a sort of sport mode and go up and down between the gears, which is pretty cool. For now, let's just put it back into park. Now right next to the gear knob we have a parking sensors on and off, so we can go ahead and click that and our parking sensors won't bother us in case you need to get really close to a wall or something. Now down here we have a couple of cup holders. We also have a heated steering wheel control, which is pretty awesome on cold days. It's actually starting to warm up here in Connecticut, about 55 degrees today, which is pretty awesome. Now we also have controls for your heated and cooled seats, so I have my cooled seats on in the second setting. Very nice. We also have 3 settings for the heated seats, and that's both for the driver and the passenger. Now if we take a look over here, we have a nice little center armrest. It's very soft. We also have some stitching, which is pretty nice. We could go ahead and open up. We have a little bit of storage and a USB charger. Pretty nice little space to put your stuff. And coming over here, we have some nice gloss black and then a sort of satin silver, which is really cool. You could even call it a satin gray. It's a nice light gray color. And taking a look up here, we have a nice wide mirror. It's pretty big. You have a manual day and night mode. You also have a sunglass holder, some lights. That's all on, then you can open them with the doors. And you also have a pretty nice sunroof for the shade that blocks 100% of the light. Looks kind of hazy because it's pretty cloudy out, and the sunroof is a little bit dirty, but we can go ahead and put it back. Let some of the fresh air in. And there's a little bit of a wind deflector that pops up, so you don't get all that buffering and noise. Now you can also vent it up like that by simply pressing the switch up like that, and close it by pulling it forward. So we can go ahead and leave that open, let some nice light in. And we can look at the visor. Now it's pretty nice material. I don't think it's leather, but it's some sort of vinyl material. By the way, the headliner is very nice in this car. It's a very nice soft cloth. We have a light up here, and also a pretty big mirror. And we have an envelope holder. That pretty much does it for the front of the cabin here. Now, really nice. I'm very impressed with this car. I've always had sort of a soft spot for Kias, just simply because of the value or the amount of car that you get for the price that you pay. Now, in other cars you won't get cooled seats until you spend about $60,000. Now this car is only $32,000. and I am enjoying these cooled seats very nicely, and I bet a lot of you will enjoy the heated steering wheel as well. So let's go ahead and power it down. It makes a pretty cool noise when you power it down, so give it a listen. And it also put back the seat for an easy exit to the vehicle. Now another thing I forgot to point out is that the steering wheel is tilt and telescoping. You just have to release that lever right there. You can go up, down, in and out, wherever you want to go. So let's go ahead and check out the rear of the vehicle. So I do apologize for that little noise in the background there, but the rear door is very nice. You have soft touch materials all the way up here. You have some stitching, the nice high gloss like you saw up front. Window switch, you even have a pretty big speaker back here. You have a bottle holder. And a nice little Niro emblem right there as well. You actually have quite a bit of space back here. And the back seat is a bench seat. Same sort of perforating and natural grain that the front seats have. Let's go ahead and get in and see how much room I have. Very easy entry on this car. The step-in height is awesome. Now I am about 5'10", and for a normal seating position for me up front, I have a couple of inches of legroom. I'd say at least 3 inches, which is plenty enough for me. I have a mat pocket back here, and I also have that 115 volt power inverter back here, which is awesome for charging your laptops and whatnot. And I also have these air vents back here. You can turn them on and off, move them all around. And very, very small drivetrain hump because it is front wheel drive, of course. You have a nice big light up here. You have a coat hook and a handle over here, which is pretty nice. And I also have a very soft armrest back here with a couple of cup holders. They're a little bit small, so just keep that in mind. And these seats do fold down to give you extra cargo room. It is a 60-40 split. And let's go ahead and check out the front profile of the interior. Pretty nice. Alright, so next let's go ahead and check out the front passenger space. Now the front passenger door does have the smart key entry button, just like the driver's does. And this door is much like the driver's door. The high gloss accents, the nice metallic handle. You also have some storage and a speaker over here. Now this seat is manually adjusting. You have the backrest goes back and forth. You also have a height adjustment. And you also have your back and forth lever right there. And the Niro sill plate right there. Let's go ahead and check out how much room we have in the glove box. Now I could release the glove box by pressing that button. You have an alright amount of storage. Nice soft plastic inside. Definitely enough room for your owner's manuals. Definitely a really nice interior for this car. Now we can open the trunk a few different ways, but for the sake of this video we're going to go ahead and use the button underneath the hatch right there. It's very easy to open. Pretty much all you have to do is just press that button. It's not powered, but it definitely is assisted via the shocks right there. Now we do have 19.4 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats, but if we fold those rear seats down, it expands to over 54 cubic feet of room. So that's definitely enough space to go grocery shopping. And I have a nice rubber cargo mat back here. We have our carpeted floor mats with the Niro emblem. Those will get installed once somebody buys the car. Now we have a speaker back here and some lighting, and we also have a cargo shade. Now underneath this mat we have this carpeted section right there, and if we lift that up, you have even more storage underneath here, and it's kind of divided. It's pretty cool. We also have some cargo hooks here and to the either side there. Also up there and over there as well. And you see you have the child seat anchors on the back of the seats. And they give you a nice little handle right here to close the trunk lid. Now the fuel filler is located on the driver's side, and we have an 11.9 gallon fuel tank for the gasoline engine, of course. We have a holder right there, and our gas mileage comes in at 46 in the city and 40 on the highway. Now I understand if you get the more basic trim levels, the tires that they put on the more basic trim levels get you a lot better fuel mileage. So if you do want better fuel mileage, I believe it gets up to 50 miles to the gallon if you get the lower end trims. So to end this video, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you stay with us for next video.